Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Stitches. I am your yarn host Jennifer, and today we have an absolutely fun and silly tutorial for you. We are making apple berets. This ain't no raspberry beret, this is an apple beret, and I have it in green and in red. I show you how to start. We start the tutorial with a little stem, we add on a little leaf, and then we make this cute beret. The yarn that I used for the green one is not on my desk. It's anti-pilling acrylic. It's the anti-pilling acrylic from Premier. It's a highlighter color. I think it's electric green or something. The leaf on this one is the color, you can use scraps, fern green. And then for the stem over here, because I don't have any brown on hand, I used gray of anti-pilling. Nope, that ain't anti-pilling. Yes, it is. It's Big Twist anti-pilling acrylic. And then the green is the same green that's in the hat. And then the red that I used is Werschner's Neon Lights in the color Sassy Scarlet, which my daughter thinks is hilarious because that's her dog's name. So that's what we're doing today. I think I tell you in the tutorial, I used a 4.5mm dots crochet hook to make this with a worsted weight 4 yarn. I give you tips and tricks on how to make it for any size. I do try to tell you when to start it going, because we're starting top down, so we're working in a big flat circle. And I tell you about right here in the tutorial that you can move on to the next step of the tutorial, and it will make it for like a smaller baby size head and onward and upward, and you're gonna have to play with it to get it to the right size. I actually, funny story is I made the green one and then I made the red one, and I made the red one way too big, so much so I had to frog this much out of it. And good thing the green one was the one we filmed for the tutorial, so I'm gonna say. So with that, let's go down to the table and make some apple berets for the upcoming fall. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Stitch. Actually, I don't know why I'm saying that, because I know that I'm gonna film an intro before this video, so we're gonna either cut that or ignore it. Alright, what you need for the tutorial is whatever color you're gonna make for your apple. Now what I'm doing is, because for the stem I don't have any brown yarn anywhere that I can find. So for the stem, for one of them I used gray, which looked fine. But I think for the green apple I am going to use, what color is this? This is fern green. It's anti-pilling acrylic from Premier. This one is an older colorway. It is the electric green. So we're going to do the stem and the leaf in this dark green, and we're going to do the apple portion of the hat, like the actual beret, in this electric green, because I think it'll be fun. And no, apples are not that color in the real world, but I mean, it's going to be pretty. So to start off with, I am using a 4.5mm hook for this yarn, and it works really good with the anti-pilling acrylic. We are going to be working in a really tight space for the stem, so get your eyeballs on, put on your glasses if you have them, get a magnifying glass if you need it, and be prepared that we're going to be working in a tight space for the stem. Let me open up my notes, my pattern notes, because we're writing this pattern as we go. Alright. So that's what our beret, that's the little design we're doing. Any 4-weight yarn will work for this. You could probably do this with a 5-weight, but it's going to be a lot chunkier, which was fine. You just need to adjust your hook size, because I'm showing you how to measure this off of your head. So the stem and the leaf, we're going to start with the stem first. We're going to do stem down. I'm working with the fern green. Actually, I'm going to lower you guys because I need you to be able to see this. Alright. It's as low as the camera goes. How low can you go? We're going to start with a simple slip knot. Okay? Just a slip knot. We're going to work into this slip knot. Okay? So we're going to chain 2, and that doesn't count as anything. Alright? And then in the stem, or not in the stem, in the very first stitch next to the knot, we are going to put 4 single crochets. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, I just crocheted right over the top of the tail. This is what it will look like. Alright, if you hear the Simpsons in the background, my kids are watching Halloween Simpsons, and they're right on the other side of this wall, so the TV's not actually up that loud, but alright, now, I know it's hard to see. This is a stitch, this is a stitch, this is a stitch, and this is a stitch. We're going to work in those stitches. We're going to do in the round. We're going to go over to the next stitch. You kind of want a hook with a pointy tip so you can work into these stitches. This is the hardest part of the entire thing, is the stem, okay? Just in the round, in every stitch, put a single crochet. So you should have 4 single crochets in this row. And this is where it's really tight, and it's going to fold in on itself. You can slow this video down if you need to, right? And then grab it and like kind of finagle it so that you're pushing this part. This is the where we put that's the very first slip stitch. You just want to kind of push it and invert it so that it's kind of, you're working on the outside of the stem. Okay, well, it should look like this. It's not anything spectacular or beautiful. And then just keep going in the round and make single crochets in each stitch. And if you miss a stitch or you accidentally add a stitch, it's not going to make or break you at all. It just needs to be skinny, and it needs to be a tube. Okay? Just stick your finger in there, push it so that you're on the outside. Right? Just crochet in every stitch. Circle, circle, circle. Just keep going around and around. And around and around. You're going to do this until this is about 1 inch. And if you don't have a tape measure handy, the tip of your thumb on average is about 1 inch. It's not perfect, but your average tip of your thumb is about 1 inch. If you don't have a thumb, just guesstimate it. And keep going until it's about 1 inch. Or a little bit longer, a little bit shorter, doesn't matter. Now, when I did the first one that I was doing the pattern with, I totally lost a stitch somewhere, and then I ended up with only 3 single crochet, and I still made it work. And it was just fine, okay? It will be fine. I'm just making this long enough so it looks like a stem to me. My tail is somewhere inside of there. It disappeared on me, so I don't have to weave that in later. Couldn't find it if I could try. Well, it's just stuck in there, which works out for everybody, right? Oops. Ooh. Just try to make sure your hook is coming up in the center of the stem when you go into your stitches, like that. Try not to grab the stitch across the row from it, but if you do, it's not the end of the world. This is not rocket science. This is just crochet. It's art. You're allowed to miss a stitch or mess up a stitch, okay? Don't be so hard on yourself. Alright. Now, that's about 1 inch because it's about the length of my thumb. And so we're going to say, well, that's good. Now, if your stem is brown and you're making your leaf green, you can cut and tie this off here and attach the other color for your leaf, if that's what you want to do. But because my stem and my leaf are going to be the same color, make my life easier, we're going to start on the leaf part, okay? So, if you're changing color and you're going from brown to green, you just put a slip stitch here, cut and tie off your work and then attach the green somewhere on the stem. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm still going to slip stitch. We're going to pretend we added a new color. Isn't that cute little stem? It's so cute. All right, and then we are going to attach sleeve, chain 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. It should look like that. All right, for the next 2 stitches, we're going to do a slip stitch. So just go up to the next stitch up and slip stitch. And the next stitch after that, slip stitch. And then in the next 2 stitches, no, the next 3 stitches, we're going to put a single crochet. So single crochet in the next stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, single crochet in the next stitch. That's what it looks like. All right, and I know it's kind of dark. Let me lower my light. And I turned it off. There we go. Maybe that'll help. And then we're going to half double crochet the next 2 stitches. Half double in the next 2. Sorry about the dogs. But you gotta pop the door every time. Alright, 2 half doubles. Then we do 2 double crochets. So a double crochet the next 2 stitches. 1 and 2. It should look like this. It's getting like fatter as we go on. And then in that very next stitch, we're going to do 3 trebles in the same stitch. So wrap your yarn twice, go in, pull up a loop, pull off 2, pull off 2 more, pull off 2 more, wrap it twice, go in that same stitch, pull up a loop, pull off 2, pull off 2, pull off 2, do it again, same stitch, pull off 2, pull off 2, pull off 2. Okay, now it looks like this. Then we are going to chain 1 and we're going to turn our leaf over. Now we're going to repeat what we just did here. Okay, so we're going to skip this first treble and go into the next one right there, and we're going to put 3 trebles in that stitch. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, and then in the next stitch we're going to put a double crochet, and in the next stitch put a double crochet, and then in the next 2 stitches put a half double in each of those, half double crochet in the next, half double crochet in the next. Then in the next 3 stitches we're going to put a single crochet in each of those. So 1, 2, 3 single crochet, and then in the last 2 stitches we're going to put a slip stitch. 1, 2, and then if you have a stitch towards the top, put a slip stitch, chain 2, 1, 2. Now we're going to be working on the inside of the leaf. So this is like 1/2 of the heart. We're going to be working up this side, and we're going to repeat what we did on this side of the leaf. So we're going to do 2 slip stitches, 1, 2. Just try to line it up with the stitches of, if you're not perfect, it does not matter, it's a leaf. No leaf is perfect in nature. And then we're going to do 3 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 half doubles. The next stitch a half double, and then 2 double crochets in this same stitch. The same stitch here, 2 double crochets. And then in that last stitch, we're going to put 3 trebles. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to chain 1 and turn. We're going to work down the other side of the leaf. I'm going to skip that first one and put a treble in the second one. Well, actually, we're going to put 3 trebles in that second one. 3. That was 2. 1 more. All in the same stitch. And then double crochet in the next 2 stitches. And then half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. And then single crochet in the next 3 stitches. 2, 3, and then 3 slip stitches. 1, 2, 3. We're at the end. Cut it. Weave in your tail. Alright, we got the stem and the leaf all done. Okay, it's not a perfect apple leaf, but it's a pretty leaf, right? Now, we're going to attach our fluorescent green, or if you're making a yellow apple or a red apple. Let me move all of my other yarns out of the way. I'm going to attach my fluorescent green. Make a slip stitch. And we're going to attach to the bottom of the stem, just somewhere on the bottom, doesn't matter where. The slip stitch to attach. We're going to chain 1. Now, we have 4 holes or 4 stitches in the bottom of here. What we want to do, and it does not matter how many stitches you put in each one of these little stitches, we need to make 12 double crochets. So we put our slip stitch, we're going to chain 2. That doesn't count as anything. And we are going to put in that first stitch, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 double crochet. In the next stitch over, I'm going to put 3 double crochet. I accidentally grabbed the wrong part of the yarn. You just, however you do this, just make sure that you have 12 at the end of this, okay? So because I have 4 stitches here, I'm going to put 3 stitches or 3 double crochets in each stitch around. But if you messed up like I did on my first one, just make sure there's 12 by the time you get to the end of the row. Move that leaf out of the way. We're not crocheting into the leaf or on the leaf. The leaf is just a dangler. 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3. That should be 9. And then in the last stitch, see, and on this one I have too many stitches. I have 5 here. I don't know how that happened. So I'm just going to put 2 and then 1. You just need 12 by the time you reach the end of the row. Right? And of course I'm outer pulling, because why would I make my job easier and inner pull that? Let me attach my yarn to my yarn holder. I thought I was inner pulling. Bear with me. Alright. Put that right there. Alright. When you get your 12 stitches, make sure you have 12. Slip stitch to join, not in the chain 2 right here, but in the first double crochet. Okay? And then if you've ever made anything in the round, or you've ever made a top-down hat, that's all we're doing. So this first row, we're going to chain 1, does not count as a stitch, and in that same stitch we're going to put 2 double crochets. And we're going to put 2 double crochets in every stitch all the way around. You should have 24 stitches. If you don't have exactly 24, it's not going to matter. If you have 23, if you have 25, it's going to be fine. It's all going to work out. Just put 2 double crochets in each stitch all the way around. This is going to be our green apple hat. I thought a green apple would be really pretty. They're nothing like a Granny Smith apple. They are my favorite. I also like, oh, what are those ones called? Mr. Cinnamon would know. They're his favorite apples. They're like a new breed of apple. Well, they're not new. They've been around about 10 years, but they're so good. I can't think of the name of them. My brain is saying Cupid. That is not even close to what it is. So we're just doing 2 double crochet in each stitch all the way around. We should have 24 at the end of the row. This is going to be cute. I like these colors together. And then slip stitch to join that row. Chain 1, again, the chain 1 doesn't count. Isn't that cute already? Look at that. Alright. So in this first stitch, we're going to put 2 double crochet. And the next stitch, we're going to put 1 double crochet, and we're going to repeat that all the way around. 2 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 1 double crochet. Okay, 2, and then 1. And then 2, and then 1, all the way around. You hear Lisa Simpson in there. She's turned the TV down twice, and I'm like, are you having a hard time hearing? Ugh. 2 double crochet, then 1 double crochet all the way around. Come on, you're gonna give me problems. It's tangled. And I'm going to show you how to make this hat for little kids all the way up to adults. It's basically going to be the same pattern. You're just going to do more decreases. So when you make a beret, you make like a big flat disc, and then you bring it around, and then you do decreases. So the whole top of the beret is going to be increases, and then we're going to do a couple rows to round it out. And then we're going to do decreases on the other side, and that forms the brim. And you can just do an extra row or 2 of decrease to get it to be kid-sized. One, 2, and then 1, and then slip stitch. That's our next row. I'm going to chain 1, and now this row, we're going to put 2 double crochet in this first stitch, and then in each of the next 2 stitches, just put a double crochet in each of the 2 stitches. So 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, and then 2 double crochet, and do that all the way around. Double crochet, double crochet, 2 double crochet. Double crochet, 2 double crochet, all the way around. Double crochet, 2 double crochet, double crochet, 2 double crochet. and it's just going to keep it going out and flat. It's funny because I got rid of a lot of my solid colored yarns, so I'm like limited to what colors I actually have of just solids, and for some reason I kept all the green. I don't know why. I thought I was going to make a green blanket of like all the varying green colors, but I end up using green a lot just for stuff like this. And of course I have red because that's the little man's favorite color. And see, somewhere along the way I missed a stitch, so my stitch count is off. I should have 2 stitches here, so I'm just going to fudge it because it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Slip stitch. Alright, this is what we got so far. A cute little leaf. Alright, next row, chain 1, 2 double crochet in that same stitch. Now in the next 3 stitches we're going to put a double crochet in each of those. So 1, 2, and 3, and then put 2 double crochet in the next stitch, and then we're going to repeat that all the way around. So 3 double crochet, 1 in each of the next 3 stitches, and then 2 double crochet in the same stitch all the way around. This thing is too close to me and there's so much stuff on my desk. It's not helping. I've been working my butt off this week. Let's see if that helps. Just moving a little bit away from us. So last week the inspiration for the eyeglass case came from Little Man. This inspiration for this tutorial came from Juju, which is my 19-year-old daughter. She is planning a trip to the apple orchard with her boyfriend, and we haven't been in, I haven't been to the apple orchard since Lucas was newborn, because I was recovering from a C-section, and we went, and it was a very difficult trip, and I have not had the inclination to go back to the apple orchard since then because it was such a bad experience. Because the apple orchards where I live are on mountainous plains, so it's like very rocky walking and very hilly walking, and that is not good when you just had a C-section. And Juju wants to go because it was a really memorable thing we did in Michigan. And we went every year to go apple picking in Michigan because it's flat there. There's no mountains there. And well, there's mountains way up north, but not where I lived. I lived by Detroit. And she wants to go, and I was like, just take your boyfriend, go have a date. But she's very excited, and she wants to have a whole apple outfit. She asked if I could sew her a dress. I'm like, I could, but you need to go buy the material. I used to make her clothes a lot when she was little. Like I'm really good at dresses. I made a ton of dresses for her when she was little. And she's like, well, can you make me an apple beret? That would be so cute. Yes, ma'am. And we're going to make it a tutorial. It's going to be fantastic. 1, 2, 3. See, that row was perfect because we fudged the last one. Chain 1, going in around, drop yarn on the floor. The gray yarn is creeping. Get out of the way. I can close my book because I know what I'm doing now. I don't need no more notes. That'll give me a little extra room. Alright, now we're going to put, we chained 1, we're going to put 2 double crochet in the first stitch. And now we're going to put 4 double crochet. So 1 double crochet in the next 4 stitches. 2, 3, and 4. And then 2 double crochet in the same stitch. And then 4 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 double crochet in the same stitch. You're gonna repeat this all the way around. Four, 2 double crochet, and then 4, and then 2, should look like that. Now if you want, if you don't like counting, I'm going to give you an easy trick to do. We found some stitch markers. At this point, oh, those are all knit stitch markers. 1, 2, 3, 4. What you can do if you don't want to count anymore, you don't want to count 5, and then you just go through, and every time you make one of these increases where there's 2 double crochet in the same stitch, put a stitch mark. Right? I'm going to show you a little trick. Put it in the first of the 2 of the increase. See how there's the 2's there? Put it in the first of the increase. I do this frequently because I hate counting. I hate keeping track. You can continue crocheting while I'm doing this. Beginning stitch. All right. One, 2, 3, 4. All right, and then here's 2. 1, 2. Put a stitch marker there. This is a way that you can work in the round and you don't have to keep track, you don't have to count. A lot of amigurumi people do this. 2, 3, 4, and then 2. 1, 2. Stitch marker. Because we started with 12 stitches, there's going to be 12 increase points. And I didn't pull out enough stitch markers, but a good thing I didn't put them away. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, and then put 2 in. Stitch marker. One, 2, 3, 4, 2 double crochets. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to hit you. One, 2, 3, 4, and then 2. Put a cactus. One, 2, 3, 4, 2 double crochet. Put a scream face. Oh, scream face broke off. Oh, he broke. I'm gonna have to have Juju fix that. One, 2, 3, 4. And my stitch counts off again. 1, 2. Oh, we're just going to put one in there. It's going to be fine. It will all work out. Alright, now I'm going to slip stitch to join. Now the next row, it should be 5 double crochets and then 2. And then 5 double crochets and then 2. And then the next row will be 6 double crochets and then 2. And then 7 double crochets for the next row and 2. And you're going to keep doing that until it gets to the width that we need it to be a beret. Now, when we put the stitch markers in here, we don't really have to count anymore. So if you don't want to count anymore, you don't have to. So when you see a stitch marker, put 2 double crochets in that stitch. 1 and 2. And then double crochet in the next 5 stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 double crochets. And I totally put the pin in the wrong stitch. So I put the pin in the first of the 2 double crochets, so it's supposed to be in the one after. It's supposed to be in the second of the 2. It's fine. What we're going to do is because I screwed up, the stitch directly after the stitch marker, put 2 double crochets in. Or do 5 double crochets and then 2. It'll all work out. It's 5 and then 2. The stitch marker just lets us know that there needs to be an increase on that section. And then 2. And I just leave those stitch markers there. You can move them up as you go and put it in that second of the double. Put it in the second of the double. You can do that. Every round you can move them up. I don't need to because I just know that somewhere in that area needs to be an increase. As long as you don't put too many, increases, it will work out. If you put too many, it's going to start to look wave up. It's going to start to fold on itself, and we don't want that. And if you put too many increases, it's going to start to curl down like that. Okay. Bubba, do you want out? Where's my stitch marker? It's on the other side. I have to fix that. But as long as you remember when you do the next row, so this one has 5 double crochet and then an increase. The next row will have 6 double crochet and then an increase. The next row will have 7 double crochet and then an increase. And it's going to continue like that. You could keep going until infinity and it will just keep making a bigger flat circle. We don't want it to go forever, but you could. I like doing the stitch marker trick though, because then I don't have to count. And then I could put it down and I can come back and I don't need to remember exactly what row I'm on. And I'm going to have to let Bentley out. He hears Lucas messing with something in the other room and he wants to go be a part of it. Oops. So I'm going to pause. I'm going to let him out and I will finish the row and I'll be back. Alright, we're about here. Let's see. Tape measure. Ow! Ooh. There's something sharp in my drawer. Scissors. Poked a hole in my finger. So we're at about 7 inches across. We got a little ways to go still. So I'm leaving my stitch markers where they're at. If you want, you can move them up. That is absolutely fine. Chain 1 in that first stitch, 2 double crochet. Now we should have, how many stitches? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We should have 6. So 2 double crochet, 6 double crochet, 2 double crochet in the same one. Or just keep an eye on where that stitch marker is and go up to the next area. I'm going to show you how I do that. So I'm at the stitch marker, go up to the side, and then I put 2 double crochet in that area. It does not matter if it's perfect or if you're really keeping track, because you have to be precise. It's 6 double crochet and then 2 double crochet in the same stitch. Feel my stitch marker, and I know that the V stitch is there, so we're going to put our 2 double crochet in there. And as you go around, because the V stitch is actually an increase, you're going to go over to the left of where your stitch marker is to add the increase. Okay, 1 or 2 stitches over. It's not going to matter. I promise you it's not going to matter. And I can see that there's a double there. You just want to, in a sec, actually it doesn't matter. You put it in the first or the second of that double crochet. You put it in either side of that V stitch, or that double, it's not a V stitch. The 2 double crochet stitch. You can increase on either one of those stitches. It's not going to matter. Just make sure you space them about equally all the way around. Or 6 double crochet and then 2. There's a stitch marker here. You can't see it. I can feel it. It's on the other side. See? And I'm not even counting stitches. I'm just going around. But I promise you, even if you made this as a gift for somebody, they're not going to go and count. Oh, they didn't do that perfectly. That wasn't right. They missed a stitch here. They put too many stitches there. Because my stitch count is off. It's off by 3 stitches now. It does not matter. I encourage you guys constantly play with your yarn. Don't take it so seriously. It ain't that serious. See, his butt wanted out. Now he's banging on the door because he wants back in. Mommy, you can't go to work without me. Now, if you're making this for a little kid, I'm going to say after this row, you can start decreasing. And by little kid, I mean like under the age of 7. If they have a relatively small head. My kids had adult size heads by the time they were 5. So that would not have worked for them. But if the kid has like an average size little petite head of like 18 inches... I'll show you. We'll do a little measurement when we're done with this row. Didn't remember whether I did the increase or not. Putting the stitch markers there just makes it more of a mindless thing, so you don't have to keep such hard track of the numbers. Yeah, my stitch count's off by 3. That's alright. Alright, slip stitch to join. Alright, now, I'm going to do a little measurement. So after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, this is the 8th row. It should be about 7.5 inches across. About 22.5 inches around. So at this point, if you're making this for a little kid, do the next 2 rows. Don't add any stitches. If you're making this for a little kid, just go in the circle. Just whatever your stitch count is here, just don't add anything. Just crochet in a circle for 2 rows for a little kid size, okay? And then I will show you what to do after that. We're going to do a decrease row after that, and that will be for kid sizes. That should do like a baby size. This would be baby sizes, okay? If you're making bigger than a baby size, we're going to keep increasing. I say that was 22.5 inches, yeah. All right, chain 1. We're going to put 2 double crochet. This one should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stitches and then 2 double crochet. Seven stitches and then 2 double crochet, and I'm just being mindful of where that stitch marker is. See, just go slightly to the side, so our increases go out that way, and they go out that way, and they go out that way. I'm going to pause, do this row, and then I'm going to come back after the next row, not this row. I'm going to come back after the next row. So what did I say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is the 9th row, and the 9th row has 8 stitches, and then the increase, and then 8 stitches, then the increase. And then we're going to, is that right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, no, 7. 7 and then an increase, 7 then the increase. Then we're going to do the next row is going to have 8 stitches and then the increase, 8 stitches and then the increase. And I'll come back at the end of that row and we'll take our measurements. Alright, this is looking way more muted on camera than it is. It's like electric green. I finished up. We are at, I done forgot. It's 29 inches around. And it's about a little bit under 9.5 inches across. Now, if you have a large head, you're probably going to want to go 2 more rounds. If you have an average size head for a teenage size head, you can go ahead and do 2 rounds, just no increases, just 2 rounds of double crochet all the way around. I have a large head, Juju has a large head. I'm going to do 2 more rounds where we're still going to do the increases around. And so for this row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We should have 9 double crochet and then an increase, 9 double crochet and then an increase. And the next row, we're going to have 10 double crochet and an increase, 10 double crochet and an increase. I will meet you at the end of the next, I'm going to do 10 because I'm going to make sure this fits her head. And her head's a little bit bigger than mine. We have about 23-inch head, 24-inch head. So your average head, this size will probably work. I'm going to go 2 more rows. I'll meet you at the end of the 2 more rows. And let's see, what row are we on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to go to the end of the 12th row. Okay? But like I said, average size head, you can do just 2 rows of double crochet right now and it'll work. Alright. That's the end of 12 rows. Nice and big. We're at about 11 inches across this way. I'm guessing about 30 inches around that way. That doesn't really matter. Now, for 2 rows, we're going to chain 1, and we are just going to put double crochets in every stitch all the way around. This is going to stop going bigger out this way, and it's going to start curving it down like that. Okay? It's the whole purpose of these next 2 rows. All you need to do is crochet around for 2 rows. And then we're going to do a couple of rows of decrease so that it fits our head a little bit better, because I don't think nobody's head is 30 inches around. That would be insane. Although I knew of some people who had some giant braids in their hair, and their head circumference, because of the giant braids, measured at like 35 inches. So, I mean, if you want a beret to go over your braids, you would have to keep going. But, because I am nothing if not inclusive for all size heads, all size hairs, all size everything on this channel. So, just double crochet. I have picked up the speed because it's getting later in the day. My schedule is insane lately. We did the homeschooling thing. Juju asked for an apple beret. I was working on the thing with Kayla. Sat that down. Immediately started filming this. Then I took a break. We'll go make some meatloaf, throw that in the oven. Mr. Cinnamon's on his way home. So we're on a time crunch. I would like to finish this today before dinner. I don't know if that's going to happen. That's what I'm aiming for. So I'm picking up speed. I'm trying to go a little bit faster. I even put on my favorite music to make me crochet a little bit faster. We'll see. We'll see how good this works. So we're just going to do 2 rows exactly like this. Just double crochet in every stitch all the way around. No increases. You don't need the stitch markers no more. And for no matter what size beret you have made, you can crochet until the size of the rows that I told you. And then you do 2 rows of double crochet all the way around. And then we're going to do a couple rows of decreases. And you're going to decrease until the underside, that hole, fits on the size head of the person you're making this for. So the amount of rows you decrease is going to be dependent on the size of your head or the size of the person you're making it for. This would be so cute on a little girl or a little boy. Little girl or a little, like a little kid. I'm thinking a little kid in an apple orchard for like photographs. Because the photographer that lives in me. Because I used to do that for a living. I'm always thinking of that stuff. That never leaves me. Alright. 2 rows of this. Double crochet. 2 rows. And then we'll come back and we'll start doing decreases. Alright, we're back. So after doing the 2 rows, it should definitely curl up like you're making a basket. I mean, it might be curling towards you. It's fine. Just flip it around. Because now we're going to be working on the underside. And once again, we're going to need our stitch markers. Just so we don't have to count. I mean, we have to count the next row, but we're just going to need some of these. Alright. I'm going to need more than that, but what we are going to do is we're going to chain 1 and put a double crochet. Just 1 double crochet. Oops. Alright. And then in the next stitch, we're going to 2 double crochet together in the next 2 stitches. So we're going to yarn, go in, pull up a loop, pull off 2, yarn over, go into the next one, pull up a loop, pull off 2, pull off 3, put your stitch marker there. Alright. Boop. Now, 10 double crochets in the next, well, 1 in each of the next 10 stitches. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we're going to do another decrease, which is 2 double crochet together. So yarn over, go in the next stitch, pull up a loop, pull off 2. Yarn over, go in the next stitch after that, pull up a loop, pull off 2, pull off 3, put your stitch marker. Do this all the way around. And if you don't have an even number of, like if it's not even all the way around and there's too many stitches here, too little stitches, it does not matter. It's all gonna be fine. Alright, so 10 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, come on, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Decrease. We're going to yarn over, is that 2 double crochet together, pull up a loop, pull off 2, yarn over. On the next stitch, pull up a loop, pull off 2, pull off 3, put your stitch marker. Just do this all the way around till you get to the beginning. Ten double crochet. And 10, do a decrease, boop, boop, 2 double crochet together, get another stitch marker, mark that stitch. Alright, I'm going to meet you at the end of this row. Alright, I am approaching, I'll bring you guys down a little bit. Alright, I'm approaching the beginning of the row, and I'm going to say that there's not going to be enough to get 20 stitches in here, so I'm not going to do another decrease in this section. Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, see, I only have a couple stitches there, so I'm not actually going to put, even though I have 10 stitches, I'm not going to put another decrease right there. It's not needed. So like I said, if you don't have an even number, it's not going to matter in the long run. And what these 2 decreases are doing is they're closing it off so that we can make it fit our head. Alright. So it should, instead of just going straight up, it should start be pulling in. Now what we're going to do on the next row is every time you see a stitch marker, we're going to do a decrease. Okay, so I'm going to chain 1 and put a double crochet in that first stitch, and the next stitch we know is a decrease, so we're going to just do 2 double crochets together in the next 2 stitches, same way we did the previous row. I'm not moving my stitch marker because I know that it's still there. You can move it up if you need to. And every time we run across the stitch marker, we're going to do a decrease. Alright, we're at the stitch marker, so we're going to decrease with that one and the stitch after it. 2 double crochet together like we did the previous row. And keep going around. This is just like we're reversing the top what we did. Reach a stitch marker. We're going to decrease by doing 2 double crochets together. And this should start really folding in on itself. Smaller and smaller with every decrease. See how Even if I take that out, this part is curling in. Like it's not just standing straight up. Like it's curling in. And it's going to continue to do that. And you're going to repeat this row where you do the decreases until this hole fits over your head and it's comfortable. So for my daughter's head, this hole will need to be about 24 inches. For the average size head, it's like 20 to 22 inches for this hole. So that's just what you want to do. You want to decrease until it reaches the size that you need it to be, and then we will add the little brim on it. Well, it's not a brim. It's the part that goes, I mean, it's a brim in a traditional hat, but because this is a beret, it's not a typical brim. But it's the part that goes around your head. Stitch markers in my way. We reach the stitch marker, so we're going to do a decrease. Double crochet till we get to the next stitch marker and decrease. Now I am making this green one, but I already started a red one. So you should have seen at the beginning of this video, I will be finishing the red one next. That way Juju has options. I think she's probably going to go with the red one because she has red hair. Although the green would look really pretty up against her red hair. Just saying. I will post pictures on her head when she wears them. If you make this apple beret, I would love to see pictures of it. I like seeing what you guys do. I like seeing when you guys change the pattern to meet your own needs. I like seeing you guys do it in all different sizes. It makes me happy to see my work go out there into the real world. I think for me, one more decrease row after this will probably be perfect. I'll have to measure when we get to the end of this row. And for the average person's head, maybe 2 more rows. Possibly 3, I don't know, I haven't measured it. And because these are all decreases, each row will go a little bit faster than the last one. Just like when we were increasing, each row will go a little bit slower than the last one because you're adding stitches. This will go a little bit faster every row because you're decreasing. I always like making fun little weird things like this. It really brings my creative side out. And it's just fun to make stuff like this. It's fun to wear it. And I promise, if you wear an apple beret out in the wild, you will get complimented. I had to pause for a second. Mr. Cinnamon came in. And it always is loud when he comes in. Alright. Slip stitch to join. Once again. Chain 1. Actually, let's measure this. Yeah, we still got a ways to go. We still have at least 1 more decrease row to go. Ghostbusters! Round and round. Around and around we go. Yeah, we're still at 27 inches, so we got a couple more rows to go. Let's see how it's coming in. It's coming in. It should lay like that. It's not going to be perfect, but it should start to come in like that. Alright, I'm going to do 2 more decrease rows exactly like this, and I will meet you at the end of those rows. Alright, it fits my head perfectly after that. If you need to do another round of plop this on your head. This should fit comfortably around your head. If it's too tight, go ahead and take back a row. If it's too loose, do another row of decrease, okay? So right now, I'm perfect. It fits my head real nice, which means it's going to fit her head. So now what we're going to do is we are going to do a row of just double crochet, no decreases. No decreases, just double crochet all the way around. This is going to be the part that hugs our head so that it actually stays on our head. Okay, double crochet all the way around, no increases, no decreases. And you don't need stitch markers anymore. And I'm just about out of yarn. I have used almost all of it, and it's starting to wrap around and tangle and choke up on that holder. Double crochet all the way around. We made it, guys. We're in the home stretch. And I tried it on and I looked at myself in my phone and it looks cute and I'm happy with it. I really like the way it turned out. We're just double crocheting in the round. No additions, no subtractions, no decreases, no increases. Just double crochet. Some alternatives, because this is going to be my last row because I'm almost out of yarn. Some alternatives to finish this hat off. If you want the brim to be a little bit thicker, you can go ahead and do a second row of just double crochet in the round. You can do a finishing off row of single crochet after this, or you can do another row of double crochet but do front post, back post around this, and it will give it a ribbed look for your brim. All of these are options to you. I do not have enough yarn to do any of those. If I had enough yarn, I would do front post, back post. I will show you how to do front post, back post in case that's an option you want to make on your hat. Because I have enough to show you, but I don't have enough to complete the entire row. So just double crochet all the way around this row. This will be the part that goes around your forehead and around the side of your head. Be the brim. I am quickly running out of yarn. But I have enough. I can tell I have enough to finish the row. You can also take the color of the stem and do a single crochet row around if you want. It's really up to you how you want to finish your hat. Oh, wow, the last stitch. Slip stitch to join. If you want that to be the end of it, cut it, tie it off, weave in your ends. You have a beautiful beret. That's what it looks like on the top. Make sure you stick your little stem up. Lay your leaf flat. It's so cute. Now, this is an alternative if you want this to be ribbed, okay? Chain 2 and then do front post, which looks like this. And then back post, which looks like, actually like this. So you go around the back and grab it. And then front post. And then back post. And then front post. And back post. And it will be ribbed all the way around, but I don't have enough yarn for that. And actually, I don't think I like the way that looks anyway. So we're just gonna cut it and tie it. Where are my scissors at? And we are done. Thank you so much for joining me for this very fun tutorial. If you make one of these, I want to see it. You can post it on Instagram, you can email it to me, you can post it in the Facebook group. You can do any of those things. I really enjoyed making that. That was a lot of fun. And I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.